ACW Universe, my name is Efren Martinez, and you may know me as Derek Destroyer from, ACW Wrestling, as one of the wrestlers of ACW. And I'm making this video because, unfortunately, this is really hard. Like, I don't know how you start one of these, but I guess you could just say, unfortunately, I hate to break the news to everybody to the channel, but I guess ACW, is ending in a way, if that makes sense. Well, because in reality, some of us ain't really doing ACW anymore because some of the guys don't want to show up and do videos with us. The other guys are, they just don't want to. I guess you could just say people are just, moving on, and I understand because this was something that we did in our childhood. And for me, this was something that I created to, bring all of us together and, bring us together. And I guess, no matter how hard you try, it's hard to keep your friends together, if that makes sense. And it sucks, really, honestly, it does. Because the best moments I've ever had with my friends was, doing ACW videos. Even if we were not recording, we were still hanging out, like, in the ACW area, yard, if that makes sense. But I just hate how times are changing, to be honest. Like, people are now moving on. People are moving to different cities, states like that. People are going to college, stuff like that. People are just busy with work. And with me, it's kind of hard to manage this channel when there's not a lot of people around that are a part of this channel. Like, one person cannot exist in this channel. You just cannot. You just can't. It's difficult. You can't run this channel, a channel like this. This channel is like a crew. This channel started with just 3 friends, and look how far we have gotten. Like, that's amazing. We even got crossovers. We reached our 100th episode. We have, reached a great milestone, 1,000 subscribers. We reached 1,000 subscribers. That was our big goal that we wanted to do, is make it to 1,000 subscribers. And I guess that's it. That's it, which is sad. I don't know. I mean, I never wanted this to end, to be honest. This is why ACW, I encourage my friends who, kept doing videos with me, keep doing videos, at least to bring us together, because as sad as it sounds, ACW is what brought us together and kept us together. And the fact that we're not doing ACW videos anymore has proven that our friendship is not as strong as it was before when ACW existed. Because ACW is what kept us together like glue. But now that ACW is like slowly fading away, everybody starts fading away from the friendship, from the groups and all that. And I guess it's best to end things at the top than continuing and slowly going down on a hill that, I don't know, I know I messed up that saying, I apologize. But what I'm trying to say is, I guess it's best to end it because we reached a great accomplishment. We have, done a bunch of stuff. Like, we have the ACW Beyond the Yard podcast, and which is sad because that podcast has so much potential, especially when COVID happened. ACW was like the start of the podcast in the yards. And it was my fault that I let that down. It's my fault that I let ACW down. Because I was the one that drifted everybody away, especially in 2020. I was doing my own personal things. And while I was doing my own personal things, being away from ACW, they didn't really have a leader. They didn't really have, the guy to bring them together and stuff. And you could say we had like a comeback, 2021, 2022, 2023, this year. But it's kind of hard to make that comeback when, I stepped away. Because when I stepped away, to me, honestly, I noticed that there was a drastically downhill. Like, we were not as we were. We were not in our primes anymore. Even though we were more experienced and more talented, or is that what it's called? Even though we are more advanced, we were not in our prime as we were back then. But it's kind of sad for me because, I'm growing older, like, I'm getting old. I know that sounds funny to say it out loud, but, I've done this like what, 1/4 of my life, which is crazy. I'm 20 years old now, and I never really had that final moment, you know, if that makes sense. Like in TWF Caution, he had his final moment when he had a match against me. And there's my, you know, crossover that's going on right now at BTW Wrestling, which BTW, if you're watching this, thank you for having me in this crossover. And I know I failed at this channel and I failed you guys, and I apologize. I know it's kind of sad. It's difficult for me to see me like this. Like later, once this gets uploaded, like if I ever rewatch this video, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna ever see myself like this, but I just feel like I'm not good as I was before. Because the truth is, I'm moving on. And I want to try to do better things. I want to try to recuperate myself. I'm moving out. So I'm not going to be in the same town that we film in ACW. So to me, personally, that's going to hurt me, That's going to really hurt me because I'm not going to be with the boys. I'm not going to be with the guys that brought us together. I'm not going to be able to make memories and record more ACW content. So I failed ACW. I failed you guys. I apologize because I know ACW had so much potential with the knowledge and the creativity I had, but the delivery wasn't good because either it was poor executed or we just never delivered. I don't know how to say these things, but it was nice, you know, a lot of people in this being a part of this channel, like we had some good times, we had some bad times, we had some rough times, but overall, you know, I would never change anything because I enjoyed every moment that we had in ACW. And I know we were supposed to have, you know, the Money in the Case uploaded in September 30th, but it was kind of hard to get a lot of guys together for this pay-per-view, which never happened. But we actually managed to film one match for the pay-per-view, and also what is it called? An episode building up to that match. So we will upload that pretty soon, but I hope everybody enjoyed that Devil's Night editor's cut. I mean, I know we had a bunch of footage for Devil's Night 2, and I just thought it was cool to upload that match without the commentating, and the fact that we had crowd. You could have literally heard the crowd, and you could hear our like punches and groans and, you know, impacts. But yeah, I guess this is the end, guys. I'm sorry. If there was anything I could do, you know, I would do it in a heartbeat, but I guess this is the end. I don't really like saying that, but I guess I have to. I guess this is the end of Derek Destroyer.